HP firmly in the favor of Navi. Simple gets the AWP, but he's smoked off. Can't hit a shot just by chance on cross. And an additional smoke deployed as they safely try and plant the bomb. Fallen will hold at Banana. He is the key to the post plant, and a post plant that has already been won. Little do they know, because away go Navi to save their weapons.
Oh yes, Electronic and Simple will save the AWP and the M4A4. That will be enough, but it's another beat confrontation that leads SK to tie things up 6-6. Stewie to find that really important frag at the very top there. Managed to topple Edward and Flamey. Zeus actually got 2 frags, the only frags Navi found. But it wasn't really enough there. A double smoke from SK towards spawn. Didn't really matter, though, the fact that Navi didn't fancy that whatsoever. Simple, I thought he was going to hit one of those shots through the smoke. They're very close to one of the flicks. Didn't connect. coldzera just confirmed the bomb will go off, which it will. It's looking much better now after losing, what was it, 6 rounds in a row? Indeed it was, to Navi. They've now tied things up. Remember, SK did win the pistol and have the 3-0 start. Timeout again, this time called by Fallen. So, the boys in black at the very end, as they discuss their options here. They'll be using the AWP once more. That's drop for Fallen and Spawn. And Navi, I don't think they're forcing this one, man. They've saved the AWP and the M4. I'm surprised by that. Navi, normally one of the teams that absolutely love a force buy.
There's no question about that.
But
I wouldn't quite call them sort of envy levels of force
No,
buy.
not like that. But they even in this tournament cast we've had, they've had some really weird decisions in terms of like game-altering buys.
Yeah, yesterday it strikes me that they had a rather questionable one.
But they're going to save some cash here. 2K per player. I'm surprised. The fact that I might even say it's worth it at this stage of the game, but who knows? It will just be the 3 pistols and a simple AWP, who's presumably working a bit harder for a frag. He definitely is. But all but Fallen spotted him. coldzera beats him to the punch. Oh my goodness, he's performing well today. 2 kills for him to kick off this round.
Cross over the top of middle because he knows that peak doesn't favor him, so he wants to slip up the mid wall. The problem is that, and we saw it, that massive gun barrel. Sometimes bigger isn't better, Henry. Because it gave the information, and Cold slipped out to get the kills in return. Nade goes to the top. Excuse me, that's a flash. That was going to be a nade. Speaking of flash, though, that only helps Fur get the kill by 12 HP as a margin. 5 versus 2, Edward and Electronic. SK about to steal back the lead on Inferno T side. This is an impressive result for them. Flash out, Fallen. Molotov toward the pit. I think they actually doubled that up, but it doesn't matter. It'll serve the same cause. Edward inside of the site, though. He's 22 HP. He's the last one alive, but he found Fallen as well. He'll get the op back.
I thought the Deagle spray down was coming in there, but it doesn't quite connect. So the first bullet did. Certainly dangerous. Here's the frag leader so far. coldzera, 18 kills, 6 deaths. Electronic, after that amazing performance towards quad, finds himself at 13 and 7. Those are the leaders on both teams, of course. Kill to death ratio at 3.0 for coldzera. That's quite phenomenal as we're coming to the last closing rounds now. 7-6, round 14. Another pause called this time by Zeus. You're going to see both of these tactical legends of the game use all their pauses. They know how important it can be just to make sure everyone's on the right page. Get everyone controlled as we get into another gun round for Navi. Don't have the backup of the simple AWP, but of course, you mentioned it. He's an absolute god on the AWP and the M4, so don't worry about that. In terms of utility, it's pretty healthy for Navi. Got a couple of kits as well, so still a very winnable round as we get into it now. In terms of spawns, Fur's got a decent one, but I assume it would be more of a default here. It's difficult to really mix things up on the Inferno T side. You normally have to do a default at the start, then go into your set pieces after that, unless you're rushing B, for example.
So Stu, as he's named himself rather than Stewie 2K. To fire up Banana, but watch for Fur. Okay, so Electronic. I should have read that by the height difference that he was on the balcony. I thought he was inside there for a minute. But Fur's going to take advantage of this, go all the way up. They're going to try and go aggressively. He jumps left. The plan being, and he executes his part of it. He catches out Simple by getting in behind him, and he baits out the shot for the second man to trade. Still a kill came in for the CTs, but in the end, it results well because they got the third man to result for it instead.
Faster pace there from SK. Works out very well for them. Coldzera with one, and then Stewart further follow up. And now Fallen. It's hunting season. He knows he can justify sending a few players after these CTs who are currently residing right there in T-spawn. Certainly worth the hunt in my opinion. You've got so much money there available. It's the last round anyway. They're not going to fully commit to it, surprisingly. I would say send everything and throw the kitchen sink at them as well. Last round next, and even if you lose all four, you can still buy. They will just let them survive, though. I'm not sure why they didn't go for that. At least if you just trade out one of them and just really limit the money. They got maximum loss bonus next round, but the CT side, that really helps them out with two weapon
and it's
saves.
not like you can go with the old NIP and threat mythology.
Exactly.
You're not going to bait them into a force by round 15. They're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have gone for that.
And it's not like you can go with the old NIP and threat mythology.
Exactly.
Well, either way, you're not going to bait.
Yes. They're going to win the half.
Yeah, it may not be right in that situation, but it's good to show discipline. Maybe let's say at least they're considering that. With that said, we go 8-6, and you're right, they can still extend that lead in this half. No AWP for Simple. Not that he's any lesser of an opponent without it. He'll stay toward B this time. Play with Edward, they're going to play passively. And Stu will start to sort that. Get some positional control. At Banana, Zeus underneath the atrium has to play off of Flamey, so Crossfire Stet at the top of middle, and they'll play aggressively toward the wall. Zeus flashed. He'll not be able to retreat. He's committed at this point in time, and Flamey's already back. Zeus has to get out. There's no support, no trade potential, and Fur takes him down.
And Zeus is not the player to be rolling those sort of positions alone at quad with no backup whatsoever. If you've got Flamey there, maybe Electron will be thinking, okay, he can probably get a kill. Zeus, that's just not his kind of spot. Either way, 5 versus 4 now, and here come the big fraggers for Navi. Holding up on the side. Oh, look at the coordination there. This is much better from SK. This is looking great. Once they've got going, sure, they lost 6 rounds in a row, but once things start to stabilize, this is looking quite promising now. As they'll take this last round. Edward and Simple might as well go for it, but it is nigh on impossible at this point.
So Simple will silently creep inside of the smoke. Not the start the home fans, well, I shouldn't say the immediate start, as you say, there was 6 rounds in a row, but not the start to the series that the home fans would have wanted for Navi, as it looks like they're going to concede the first half. CT side Inferno, no less. 9-6 in favor of SK.
Oh, the knife. So he wanted to get Simple there right at the end, right at halftime. Worth the risk. Could have been a bit of a crowd pleaser or a crowd shocker, I guess, considering where we are. Either way, it would be 9-6 at half. SK Gaming looked like they were falling apart at the mid stages, but they pulled it right back in the end with 6 in a row. We'll take a break and be back with the second half very shortly. Do not go anywhere.
The Mermaid Princess.
Good morning, Mother. Where are my princesses?
Oh, they are all doing their work.
You have brought my daughters up well, Mother.
Yes, they are growing up to be beautiful and wise mermaids.
The 6 beautiful mermaid princesses come gliding into the Queen's chamber.
Grandma, look at the beautiful things we have collected.
The Queen looks at her youngest granddaughter.
My child, you do not seem to have brought back anything.
Grandma, the beautiful red flowers outside the castle give me more pleasure, and I am happiest when you tell me tales of the wonderful world above the sea.
You shall see everything once you turn 15.
Oh, Grandma, that is so long, long away.
Till then, your sisters will tell you what they see.
When the eldest princess turned 15, she rose above the sea to see the world beyond.
I'm so tired of the city. Can we go somewhere quiet?
अपनी नीड्स के अनुसार चाहिए नई कार तो कहीं और क्यों देखो, कार देखो।
Well, SK, the early advantage is they carry 9 rounds from the attack to the defense on Inferno, and if they find another pistol, it might spell disaster for Navi. We'll see if they can recover. Simple has tried his best. He's gotten 12 and 9 to start things off, but it was Electronic that was most impressive, and a couple of different rounds over toward, obviously, the quad side, where he found 4 kills. We had an ace from Cold on the other side of things, just to put one up on that, but Electronic was efficient on A. There's no question about that.
Yeah, he was the heart and soul of the bomb side, that's for sure. Some interesting setups there for Navi towards the end. You can see them starting to fall apart somewhat. And there's the scoreboard at the top. Cold Zero almost posting 20 frags in the first half. He was a beast. As we get into the second, we'll have a look at the buy. Won't be a rush here from what I can see without the HE grenades, but they are sending 4 players towards that side of the map. They're going to give it a go, and it's up to Flamey to try and fend off Fur, and he'll do a fantastic job of doing that. Well done, but Stewie given the opportunity, but he meets the same fate as his teammate, Just Fallen, who could steal this one away. They might not check him, but indeed they will.
It's tagged up considerably. He's on 12 HP. Will not be able to swing any further toward the site. And Cold Zero gets in position with the CZ bombs planted. Cold gets one and backs away. A little bit of time bought because they have to close the gap to him. Unfortunately, his teammate couldn't do anything to help him, but Cold Zero, Edward was out of ammo as well. He had to try and pick up a gun that was dropped, and now it's going to be Cold with the same problem. And I'm afraid the CZ takes too long to reload when he was that far committed. That, if he hit that third shot, my God, that could have been interesting.
There was 1 second of me, the 4. He's doing it.
Absolutely.
This is happening. He only had 2 bullets left in the CZ when he had to challenge him for the second time. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough, as Navi with the B rush there works out for them. Like I said, they didn't use the nades, but maybe that is where the game is heading. Every team that wants to rush B has been nading so far. If you don't throw the nades, maybe they won't be expecting it. Who knows how that works? But either way, force buy from SK here. CZ across the board, 1 HE for bolts. And they're going to be taking damage in those flames, surely. Just Fur, and all of them towards the sandbags. If they take an HE now, that could be disastrous. Stu is trying to take the attention away. This is a baited switch if ever I saw one, but one player will fall back, knowing that that could be a little bit too potent for the HE. Baller takes on the nades to the face, but Stewie giving bullets out in equal measure, looking for the second kill, and now it's where Fur can be baited in. Can't get the double kill, though. I really thought that was going to be quite interesting for them, but overall, 3 versus 2 still possible for SK here. Cold Zero alive and kicking. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. We saw how effective he was on the CZ in the last round. Simple is guarding a gold mine in Banana right now with the amount of SMGs that are down. It certainly would be worth their weight in gold to either of the SK players if they could make it that far as to pick them up. Bolt's not willing to commit to B. He wants to be close enough by and not get caught. Bomb slowly goes back down to, in fact, through the underpass it made. So taking no chances in getting toward presumably apartments where Flamey leads the way. In fact, they're all 3 going to go that direction. So I can't, yes, Cold's alive. I can't picture Cold not being found here. With 3 players coming out that doorway, we'll see. It would be pretty miraculous. It certainly would have to be a cold day. And he gets found. Simple immediately. No mistake in checking it. That was always going to happen. Bolt's left in a 1 versus 3. Simple, 10 HP says, I don't want to plant that bomb, and rightfully so. That nade might have been the difference.
Well, the P90 no less. 3 kills picked up for Simple. And it will be bolts to save the CZ and helmets. I guess you don't lose any money for surviving on the CT side, you know, so might as well. It's the best that's going to happen for himself. Just find a Mac 10 there as well, potentially a little bit more. Who knows? UMP, Navi could have done with throwing those away, but UMP for the next round, if he does survive, he can drop the CZ for a teammate and have a slight chance of farming some cash. Probably won't win the round, but every kill that UMP is worth $600, so might as well take that to the next round. Certainly more beneficial than the Mac 10 is. Round number 18 coming up, as it looks like Navi should be able to tie the scoreboard up. As the 2-0 comes in, they'll have a full eco pretty much up against them. Bolts that survive, but that's pretty much all SK got going for them in this particular round. Here's the replay. What we're going to see, surely some P90 work from Simple. A weapon we don't see very often, but it has got a lot of run and gun potential and 50 bullets of doom. You can see how mobile that is as Cold Zero gets destroyed there in the pit. If it had the $600 reward bonus, I think I would be on board with it. But the fact it costs $2,350, which is almost 1,000 more than any other SMG, it's a cool gun to use, but I think the price is just a little bit too high. Too rich for my blood, Matt.
Too rich. Too rich for your blood. If it's too rich for Henry G, it's too rich for the world.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's a big spender. Up in that crypto. Where am I even going with that? I don't know, man. Just trying to get gangsta up in here.
Well,
as Edward will go back toward the top of mid, work his way toward Boiler. Try that again.
It is actually a jump that is a little bit frustrating. Like, it's a little bit further than it used to be. And like 1 out of 5 times, it feels like I fail it at least. I'm not surprised some pros do. As we'll get into what should be a formality. Navi to find the 9th round. There is a CZ, like I said, dropped to Stu by bolts. Fallen. I thought it was spotted by Electronic, but not quite. X-Ray can be a little bit misleading in that respect. As Cold Zero does land some damage, but not much. It will now be round 18, where Navi certainly can make this map very entertaining now. 9-9. Some of the greatest players in CSGO on the server right now.
Absolutely.
Looking to put on a bit of a show.
Yeah, this is a tantalizing matchup. Same with FaZe against either of these opponents. 9-9, having won the pistol, both teams winning their respective T sides. Pistol, that is, obviously. Keep it in context. Context matters. As it will be the P90 for Electronic carried over well to the UMP for Flamey, but it's going to be rifles brought out for everyone on SK, and this is the start of the defense.
Yeah, that force spike's hurting them, though. You can see no kits, no AWP, that's for sure. Fallen's have to go with the FAMAS just to make sure they have some utility. And they really are going to be struggling here. Bonus situation for Navi with this. They're in the driving seat. They'll have all the money. As Simple and Electronic start to probe the map, it's going to be a UMP for Flamey. Simple will be taking the rifle here. Nice to see Navi maybe taking some of the criticism or the memes that have been created online. I'm not sure which one you'd call it. Either way, he has been gifted the AK and drops his P90 over.
Zeus holding from the sandbags. If Fallen even steps out 1 inch too far, he has done so. Information absolutely attained, and as he knows he's still speaking the same angle, he'll try and slide out and elongate that from his perspective. Smoke to go down, and Fallen backs away. Stewie still inside of the site during all of this, is just waiting, hoping that they'll actually commit to going in. Fallen has to be careful as well because he was tagged to 48 in the process of that exchange. So Stewie off angle at the fountain. Hits the first, no problem, but it's the P90 of all weapons to take him down immediately after flashback in. Fallen, he's got to be more efficient than that because he was a sitting target for Simple's arrival, having taken so long or took so long to find Electronic. They'll push up to the tree. Fur's going to have to be aware of that. It's pretty common, so no doubt he checks it. Please, Fur, please. As he flashes and looks away. That is absolutely crisp from Simple, and it's Navi that's going to take the lead 10-9.
Yeah, filthy from Simple, my God. In CT spot by the tree. As he takes down 3, well done by him. Secures the round, and like we said, SK coming into this one had almost nothing. The M4 is sure, but a FAMAS for Fallen, limited with no real utility. No diffuse kits, and that's the problem with Force by these days. I really feel like teams are going to start moving away as the year develops from that instant reaction to Force by fully in the second round. I don't think it's worth it. I think you're risking too much, especially in a very equal matchup like this. For me, Deagles, no armor, that's the way forward. Bolts is going down, maybe not though, as he does find the kill. Simple will be dropped.